Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Nick here, and we're back again with a very exciting video for today. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while now, especially if you saw my recent video where I reviewed my Beats Solo Buds, you guys know that I've been rocking with an iPhone 12 since I got this back in 2021, but this phone actually came out all the way back in 2020, and I was overdue for an upgrade, so I'm excited that we are going to be reviewing the iPhone 17. This is going to be a very exciting video today. I've never actually reviewed an iPhone on this channel before. This is my first time reviewing one on the channel. This is the base model 17. I didn't get the Pro or anything like that because this is really all I needed. I just got the base model 17, 256 gigs, better camera, and of course I can't do the unboxing without a case, so I also got a case as well, and hopefully this case is pretty good. It looks pretty good when I got it on Amazon. This case is from Diacrela? I have no idea how you pronounce that, actually. To upgrade from a 12 to a 17, I'm assuming is going to be a huge change, and I'm really excited about this because not only am I long overdue for an upgrade, this phone is the model's 5 years old now, had it for almost 5 years now, it's coming up on 6 years, and not only that, but the planned obsolescence has been kicking this thing's tail for the last like 2 years or so, especially in this whole last year. The battery on this thing has gotten really bad. This is also a base model 12, about 64 gigs, and I love this thing to death. I'm still going to keep this for memory's sake. I might also use this for like a spare camera from time to time, but it was time to upgrade to a new phone. And one of the other things I'm very excited about with upgrading to this new phone is not only will I have a better camera, more storage, and a better battery, but this should hopefully make my videos start looking a lot better now, because the videos do look really good on the iPhone 12. I do still use my Sony CyberShot G, which does look pretty good when I do some tampering with it. And I also use this camera right here, which is the Razer Kaya webcam, but this is going to be my best camera yet. I know that for a fact. And I'm really excited for the opportunities I got coming up to film some more stuff on this camera. There's just a lot of really exciting prospects that could happen with this phone. So honestly, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch up the camera angle, and we're going to do an unboxing and review of the iPhone 17 base model. So I'm recording on two different cameras right now. We got this camera right here, which is going to be my overhead camera, and I'm also recording right here on my webcam. The setup's a bit weird. Here's a video right now of what the setup looks like. The audio should be coming from this mic and all that, so it should be sounding pretty good. And if anything looks weird of this like arm being in the way, the arm's in the way of the lens, that's my bad. So before we actually open up the 17, I want to talk about the 12 real quick, because if you look at this, the cameras are actually pretty similar in terms of their layouts, because if y'all remember the 13 all the way to these 15, they switched the layouts and the camera was like diagonal and stuff. I hated the way those things look, so I never wanted to upgrade to any of those phones. So I'm actually glad that the 16 and 17 went back to the vertical. Yeah, the vertical camera layout. The vertical camera layout I think looks so much better. I think it just looks a lot better than the diagonal. It looks a lot cleaner and stuff. Another thing that I also noticed is the size difference, because actually I still have my old box for the 12 right here, and I'll be honest, like the size is not overly off. Like if we compare those right there, if we do this, like the actual like length there is pretty much the same, but if we actually do this one's slightly longer, and that is because I know that the 12 was a 6.1 inch, I believe, and this is a 6.3 inch. So there's going to be a slight difference in size, but shouldn't be huge, honestly. And I've gotten pretty used to having this in my hand, so I think honestly having it only just be slightly bigger won't be that big of a difference. I know that there's also, you know, there's like the 6x9 for the Pro Max, which I think is insane. I know that the iPhone Air is like 6x5. I think there's honestly a perfectly fine size upgrade. I don't think I'm gonna need to have anything much bigger than that, honestly. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed by is that I just got a very generic white iPhone instead of a nice colorful one. This colorful one is the product red. You'll see there's a little thing that says product right there. So this was the whole idea behind a product red, was that this gave back to COVID-19 charity whenever I bought it. But also I just loved the way the red looked as part of the base model 12 lineup. When it came to the colors of the base model 17, I didn't love the colors, honestly. I actually thought that the colors for the base model 16 were a lot nicer. You had like the pink, you had the ultramarine, you had like the really nice green, if I'm not mistaken. This one we had white, black, the blue, which I thought looked okay, the green, which was okay, and then like the lavender. But they were all kind of just like very like off kind of colors instead of those very nice vibrant ones. Honestly, if I were getting one of the 16 lineup, I would have gone with the ultramarine, but this had 256 gigs. That one was the same price for less gigs, and I figured that in order to get as far ahead of the planned obsolescence as I could, it made more sense to get a base model 17. So I'm a bit disappointed with the color line this year, but I think honestly that a nice white looks fine. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. It'll look very clean. So that's a huge plus, honestly. And the Diacrela, how you pronounce this case that I got, is a transparent case, very much like this case is. So you can see like the cleanliness of the phone through it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this one lasts longer though. I don't know what brand this case was, but honestly, you can see like this case is like, it has its wear and tear on it. It's gone through. It's got stuff in its little cracks right here. It's got like a little line right there. It's got crust and like scratches inside the phone and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, we definitely got to upgrade and stuff. So we were long overdue, but thankfully we got these right here. These hopefully should be pretty good. The reviews for this seemed pretty good. I'm excited to finally upgrade my phone. And yeah, I think without further ado, we're gonna unbox it. Yeah, I recall this last time, if I'm not mistaken, having the tape on the back. I think actually having the tape right here is good, because if you notice, this does not have the tape on it anymore, and it's like it falls. Like, ooh, we gotta be careful with this though. I don't want to drop this phone. This is also why I got a case, by the way. I remember back when I got this phone back in 2021, I made the mistake of not buying a case right when I got it, and this fell out of my pocket when I bent over, or no, when I squatted down. And I did have Apple Cares, everything was fine, but the front of the screen cracked, and also there's like a little bit up here that like got really ruined. So I was like, nope, I'm not gonna go without a case this time. So this came in the mail yesterday. yesterday. This came in the mail earlier today. I waited for this to arrive so we can unbox this. So yeah, we got a good case. Hopefully I'm hoping the case works well. And yeah, let's just unbox the phone already. Ooh, let's see. I got the tape right here. Ooh. This is kind of like when you take off the, what's it called? Like the sticker that protects the seal that protects the screen. Because like once you take this off, you never go back. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we're going to take this off. Holy, that looks beautiful. Be very, very careful here. We got like a little bit of a thing right there. Okay, that came off. Dude, that camera looks huge. I was not expecting the camera to look that way. This looks beautiful. I don't know if the camera's really capturing it, but in person, this is stunning. I think this looks absolutely insane. That just looks crazy right there. And automatically, if I put like this phone right next to it, I mean, this does have the case on it, so we do have to take that in consideration, but you look at the camera size difference. These cameras are huge. And even the light looks even like slightly bigger. I was not expecting that. So I have to be very, very careful with this. So we're gonna pull this up like that. Okay. And we still got the protector on it. Good. I'm not going to take the protector off just yet. I'm going to set this off to the side. We got quite a bit of dust on my mouse pad. Please excuse that. Oh, we got a nice cord right here. I know that I forget which, I think it was it the 15? I think it was. The 15, I believe, was the iPhone. The upgrade to USB-C as opposed to the lightning bolt. Are they called lightning bolt? I think they're called lightning bolts, yeah. To upgrade the port. So if I take these out, ooh, these are nice. The material is super nice, actually. It's not like the super fake material of like the old wire. I don't even have that wire anymore. I got rid of it. I just have like a very big, the wire that I have to charge my 12. Like, this is like the kind of port I'm talking about, like the lightning bolt thing, I believe is what it's called. And it almost kind of looks like an Xbox 360 charger if you look at that right there. And it's also like 10 feet long because like the other chargers that I have were just not reliable. So this is the very just like base charger or whatever. I think the USB-C looks really nice. It's very compatible and stuff. I don't have a cube or a car charger yet, so I'm going to have to make that adjustment, but I still can charge this from my computer. So that's very, very nice. But the actual just like material and the fineness of it, like the fact that like it's almost similar, carefully pull this out, to my keyboard wire right here. My keyboard's not on my table right now because it's taking up space. Woven cable that it's like flexible and everything, so that's very nice. We'll set this off to the side. Is there anything else, or is that pretty much it? Because I think that's let's see, what's this right here? I think these are just instructions, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that I'm gonna set this off to the side now. I'm gonna set this on top of here to be safe. So this is like noticeably, like this feels like more or less the same weight as this, but this has the case on it. This might actually be slightly heavier. This kind of more or less has like that iPhone weight that I remember this thing feeling like before I put the case on it. So has a nice weight to it, doesn't feel super heavy and all that stuff. I'm being very, very careful. I don't want to drop this, or I don't want to, do anything like that. We got the different buttons on the thing right here that are cool. I'm not sure how the camera button's gonna feel, because this case hopefully should take care of that or whatever, but I know that like some people will like, they'll hold it like this and the camera will open up, so I'm hoping that I won't have too much of an issue with that. Just the feel of it and the look of it, like the look is gorgeous. I think that the white is very, very clean. It looks even better in person. It's got, the microphone is so tiny. That's what I can't believe. Like the microphone is on there and it's so tiny, all that stuff. I think I'm gonna have to get my glasses cleaners to actually like wipe off whatever's on here, because I do want to put the case on this before we actually do anything with it. So yeah. All right, I'm just wiping this off and stuff. This feels like not as glassy as the other ones do. These feel like, the material doesn't feel like glass. Like the way the back of this felt glassy. This does not feel glassy. That's crazy. Okay, we've taken this off. I should probably go ahead and open up the case because we're gonna put this on next. Well, this thing came with the letter. That's cool and all that stuff. Cool. Thank you note there from Dia Clara. Okay, how to install. Okay, so this thing, scan the QR code to watch the installation video. But I couldn't get the QR code to watch the video because the QR code was too small, so we're gonna have to figure this out. But there are some instructions right here. Looks like the first thing I gotta do is gently lift the edges off or whatever it looks like. Gently, let's see, lift gently from the right bottom corner, then along front frame edge 1 to 4. Okay, there we go. Okay, just very gently. Okay, don't want to force it too much. Don't want to be very slow and gentle with it. We're making progress. Just make like little indents here and there, and then just like carefully. There's foam in this. That's nice. Carefully do this. Okay, it's bending. I want to be careful with that. Let me go along this side. Pull this out. Okay, I think it's coming out. Okay, we got it. And everything seems fine. The foam, I think, probably helps it from breaking. That's good. This seems okay. Ooh, this is very solid, actually. This is even more solid than this one. This one always felt a little bit slightly mushy. This doesn't feel mushy at all. Now, I'm not the hugest fan of having like that little thing there, the MagSafe thing, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, it's really not. It says remove the protected films from both sides of the front cover. So I go ahead and do this. Okay. Yeah, it's got that same kind of like checkery thing about this one. Okay, so before peel off mask. This thing is confusing. I can't lie to you, but I think we're gonna get it under control. So I have to take this off. Ooh. So I do that, and I know I got to put this thing in, but I haven't taken off the film yet, so I got to very carefully take this off. Ooh. I want to savor that moment. Holy crap, that looks beautiful. I can already tell the screen's going to be amazing. I'm just real quick wipe this off, just so I can get any, whatever, like speckles off of it or whatever. And I guess I can always take the case off and fix a little bit more in like a safe, soft spot. So I got the light shining out on it, so I don't see any dust. So I think we're okay to put this on, I think. Okay, that looks really promising. Okay, I'm attached the back now. I'm not going to worry too much about getting little like spots out just yet. I'll do that later. Okay. Case feels pretty solid. I can take this off. Oh, I forgot. Oh, there's a layer of film I forgot to take off in there. Wait. There we go. I completely missed this. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Okay. I think honestly it's gonna make more sense to slide in through the side because that's where like the side of the case is and all that stuff. So okay, so the phone is looking nice and fresh and clean in there. That's good. I'll clean some more of the I'll take the case off and clean some of the more dust stuff off later on. But I think so far like the actual just like build is nice. So this will be a nice one to have. It's slightly bulkier than this one, honestly, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It's slightly larger, but I think it's not the biggest deal, honestly. I think the first thing I'm gonna do first is turn the screen on though. So ooh, okay, there we go. We got also like the front camera being different. That's what's also gonna be wild. So what's the screen? I've heard that like the screens for the new iPhones are crazy. So what does this thing look like? That's what I'm wondering. Ooh, that is a nice display. That's a really nice display. You got hello. So now I got to worry about getting this thing set up. Okay, so after about an hour, actually more than an hour, of setting everything up, getting all my apps transferred, fixing some stuff about the case and all that stuff, the phone is done. It's ready. It's in its case, looking all nice. I was able to get as much of the little dust particles out of there as I can. Honestly, you can't really tell when you turn it off. Like you just can't really tell that much. And also the back is looking very clean as well. Definitely, let me look at that difference. Look how scratched up this one is versus this, and also like the difference is insane. So I was glad that I was able to get the like my background, all my other stuff in here. So basically, it's basically like almost entirely the same setup and stuff, just that like this new phone has, sorry, did not mean to do that, has the iOS 26, I believe is the name of the update. So obviously like all the various different, you know, apps and all that looks slightly different. Also like the performance, like look how quickly this thing glides and all that stuff as compared to this thing. Like the difference is very noticeable. The size difference, honestly, like this one is slightly bigger as you can see, but I feel like it's a nice enough difference to like, I feel like whenever I lounge, right, and I have this in my hand, like this always kind of felt like just right for my hand in terms of the size and all that stuff. When I put this in my hand, this is like the smallest size iPhone you can get right now. This is not a 6.5 like the Air. It's not the 6.9 of the Pro Max. I feel like for a size upgrade, this is very easy to get used to. It can sit in my hand like this. And the big thing I was worried about was this spot right here for the camera. Honestly, like I was worried about it, but because the case kind of has this like dent in it, I don't really have to worry about it too much. I can literally just put my hand like that, and or like this, and I won't have to worry about it. And if I want to open the camera, I can just do that, and it opens up. By the way, I'll show some like better in-depth recording of stuff, like showing the different cameras between the two phones, because I gotta say, like, dude, the camera on this and like these two things are huge. Versus the camera on this thing, it's a very noticeable difference, especially with like I even like noticed when doing the version like that, like dude, like the actual difference is insane. There you guys are right there. And I also got to get used to like the very small like things about, like I had this like long bar up here for a long time. Now I got this like small bar to get used to, but honestly I think the look is very clean. This screen is known as liquid glass. Sorry, these are some notifications I was getting from my buddies. The liquid glass screen is super nice. Like the actual like screen difference when I look at them is very noticeable. Like this has a very nice screen. The cameras are better and stuff. I think also like the case, it also might just be because this case is almost 5 years old now, but this case feels a lot more sturdy. It feels a lot more durable. If I hit against it, it doesn't really feel, you know, that stuff. The back does look a little bit bulky and the phone's slightly bigger, so this probably will feel slightly bulkier than this one. But honestly, like, I don't really think it's that big of a difference or whatever, and I'm not someone who's, like, dying to have a thin phone, like some people who get the Air, so, yeah, it's just not really something I'm all that worried about. I got pretty much everything set up. I got all my apps set up. I got all my notifications and everything set up, which is very nice. One other thing that I did not realize, right? And I guess I should have researched this or whatever. So actually, whenever I put the case on initially, I realized I didn't put the SIM card into this one. So I brought out this old tool because I was wondering why exactly it is this old tool was not part of the new phone. And I find out while setting up the phone, I end up Googling this as well, that Apple has a thing called the eSIM. So the actual SIM card with my phone number is still inside the 12. And I guess I don't really have any need to extract it anytime soon. But so this physical SIM card is in here, but it's no longer going to work on here, which is why you have like either the SOS or you have just like the basic stuff or whatever. My phone number and all that stuff is now in the eSIM of this. And basically what I looked up when I read the thing is that if I, God forbid, lose this phone, I just have to contact my cell provider and then they'll help me transfer it to another phone or whatever. But that's just crazy, dude. I did not realize that was a huge difference. Another huge difference I've noticed also is the new button on the side right here. Whoa. I literally just, I did not mean for that to happen. I was not trying to connect these phones. That's nuts. Okay. I don't really think that's going to do anything right now. I already got everything pushed over, so I don't think it matters too much. But this is the new button right here that takes place of the switch that you do to silence or unsilence your phone. And it turns out you can actually use this button to do anything. Right now, it's on. If I hold it like that, it'll go silent or whatever, and vice versa. But also, like, I can go to the settings and also do this. So I actually initially had this button when I first set up to do the focus do not disturb thing, but then I realized that I did not want it to do that, so I turned it off. And oh my God, I think I'm now controlling this phone. That is the weirdest thing thing ever. But yeah, so there's quite a few differences and stuff. The difference is very noticeable, mostly all towards the positive. A few things to get used to, but honestly, these things getting used to honestly should not be that bad. The buttons work pretty much the same and stuff. The apps look slightly more round, which is very interesting. And I noticed like also these things look slightly more round. But yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with the upgrade so far. Everything looks very nice. I like the way everything is laid out. I like the way the colors look, like the brightness and that stuff. So I mentioned that I would show you guys the camera differences, and I definitely will. But another thing that I want to do right now real quick is show you guys the difference in storage. So again, I want to remind you guys, this is a 64 gig iPhone. This is a 256 gig. And from transferring everything like moved over here, right? We have 52.49 gigs of the 250. So I still have over 200 gigs that I could use. Over here, 60% of the, almost 60 gigs have been used. I remember I had to go back and offload and re-download and all that stuff just so I can make sure that that things were not getting too crazy over here. But over here, man, like I got look, even some like the apps I transfer, like the storage on them, like very, very different. And I'm glad about that and all this stuff. Honestly, and maybe that's just me because this is my first ever iPhone that I ever had for myself. Those of y'all who have like the iPhones that are like 512 gigs or the 1 terabyte, now they have 2 terabytes on the Pro Max. I guess those are for people who have just been using iPhones for the past however many years. Like all their phones have been iPhones. What do y'all do with all that storage? Like it took me so long for this phone to fill up or whatever. I can't imagine this phone filling up within a year. Like I really can't. I feel like I got a lot of storage on here to download new apps and do all sorts of good stuff for a good while. So I think I'm good on that front. Also, the battery on this thing is obviously better and stuff. The battery health in this thing I know for a fact is 100 because I just got it. I only charged it for just a little bit and then I uncharged it because I was like, yeah, or unplugged, I should say. It's at 60 right now. The battery health, what's the battery health actually? That's what I'm trying to find. 100% because I just got it, obviously. Manufactured it was in November. If I go to the battery health on my other phone, 85%, I'll be honest, it does not feel like 85%. Like when it, like this thing, like honestly, because I remember like I made a mistake one time where I accidentally left this plugged in overnight twice by accident. And it was back when I first got it or whatever. I accidentally left this charging overnight twice. It definitely took a toll on the battery, on top of the battery just being old and stuff. Also the planned obsolescence. Not even a year of having this phone, I had an 89% maximum capacity, and it dipped down to 85 like earlier this year. We have 100 right here, and I know it's not going to stay 100 forever, but I'm doing everything I can to like make sure the maximum capacity of this thing stays the way it is. So for first impressions, I'm very happy with this new iPhone right here. The iPhone 17 base model, I think, is a very, very nice upgrade, and it actually feels like a new phone. The reason I never upgraded for so many years is because I wanted to make sure that I got the most out of use out of this phone, and I wanted to make sure that when I did upgrade, it would actually feel like an actual upgrade. So this very much feels like a real upgrade. Everything feels a lot more premium, a lot faster, smoother, better. So yeah, I'm satisfied, honestly. I really, really am. Hey everyone, I had so much footage covering the features of the iPhone 17 that it would have made this video entirely too long. So my next video will be an in-depth review of the features on the iPhone 17. However, I will briefly cover some of the best things that I've come to love about the iPhone over the last month and a half. The 48 megapixel camera has been a huge improvement on my photos and my videos, and I absolutely cannot wait to take some more videos with this camera. The battery has obviously been a huge improvement coming from the worn out battery on the 12. I will cover some tips that I use to keep my battery healthy and fresh in the next video. The phone screen refresh rate is so fresh with the 120 Hz Pro Motion display, and this is huge coming from the 60 Hz on the iPhone 12. And the case from Diaclar with the 6.3 inch size of the phone has been very easy to get used to, and I've loved being able to use such a powerful upgrade with such a convenient size. These are just a few of the features that I have come to love about this phone. We'll talk more about these features in the next video where I break down why the iPhone 17 is by far the best base model iPhone in years. I've had several IRL delays that have prevented me from getting this video out sooner, so thank you so much for your patience. I promise the next video will be very entertaining, and stay tuned for more to come. If you made it to the end of the video, definitely make sure to drop a like as it would really help out the channel, and feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay notified about my latest uploads. And make sure you follow me on my other socials linked down below so that you never lose track of me. Thank you so much for your patience, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.